it was great fun because we'd meet for Deepavali. Some people would contribute booze, food, and crackers. And then we all had children more or less the same age. So that first we'd arrange things for them. We, meaning my husband and a couple of other husbands, would stretch something, put some. And after the children had finished and were banished, then we would, but we'd keep meeting for various occasions. There was one occasion when we all, I forget for what, Dasara, when somebody introduced us to Bhang along with the, we all had, she, I think it was a she who introduced it, said, I know how much you should have. So we all had 2-3 glasses of the stuff. And it did nothing to us. So then we said, what nonsense? So we drank gin. So the combination really got us, I think. Because then, when we started driving home, we drove, and actually we were about 3 minutes away from where we had the party. We drove and never got home. That when we got home, we said, young son, we said we both shouldn't die at the same time, because what will he do when he gets up in the morning? So we rang up a doctor friend and said, look, this was about 3 o'clock. Look, this is what happened. What should we do? Is there any antidote? He said, when did you have it? We said, about 11 o'clock. She says, you haven't died yet. You won't die. Just go back to sleep, she said. So we tried to go back to sleep. I slept, but my husband woke me up saying, look, I'm levitating, he says. And he levitated for 3-4 days. And I was okay, excepting that one saw, really crazy things. And we went out into the veranda and said, look, this is east, that is west. God knows if it was. But we were trying to bring ourselves down to earth. And then it was after that we rang her up. And she said, just don't wake me up again. But that was one incident when one of the girls who was there, she went home. And she was tottering a bit. And her mother opened the door at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock or whatever. And she saw this girl and said, I told you not to have so much watermelon in the morning, she says. So the mother had no idea about Bhang, etc. Because anyway, in the South, it wasn't a done thing. But that was great fun. I mean, I've never had it after that, but I'm glad I had it that once. So we were must fun, and we'd go, if it was a Friday or a Saturday rehearsal, we were members of the Gymkhana Club. So we'd go there, have a swim, go to the beach, watch the sunrise. And there was a place called Raya's, a little hole in the wall where you got wonderful idlis. Have idlis, go home and conk out. We tried that 20 years later once when we visited. Absolutely not. You couldn't get more than halfway through, had to get back home. But it is one of the memorable times of my life, Madras, where I was there almost 20 years.